All right, welcome everybody. Check, check, mic check, test, test, test. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Alli live stream. This minimal house down off of here. This is your Elite Bundle live implementation workshop. So thanks for joining me here. I'm Coach Carroll. I'm DJ Carroll. You probably saw me on the webinar, on the live stream. No matter where you found me, you're here now, and this is the live implementation workshop. And so I'm super excited. So you guys can hit me up in the chat. I've got the chat open and I can see this. If you guys have never been on a YouTube live stream, welcome to your first one. I'm excited to have you guys here. Today, we'll be going over a couple of different things with Alli. And so let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm excited to see this. And if you're watching on replay, thanks for being here. Leave me a comment in the chat as well. I can always see those on my YouTube channel. That's why I like doing these on YouTube instead of in Zoom. I can always come back and engage with you guys. So with that being said, we're going to dive right into this. I'll kind of lay out the lay of the land over the next 90 minutes. We have two different presentations I'm going to walk you through. One is the Alli Visitor Intel Training. So this is the same slide deck that I went through with the Martell training, with the Martell Media team, but I'm going to do it a little more in depth since I have more time today, give you guys more strategies, more ideas, deep dive a little more on the technology. And then lastly, I'm going to go over a Gamma handout that I will send you guys. Again, if you don't know what Gamma.app is, Gamma AI, it's amazing. I use it to put together this slick handout that is win without the risk. So again, going to be a lot on compliance, how to use Alli, how to make sure that you're navigating the technology in a compliant way so that you don't get in trouble, but also showing you the best cases that we've seen to be able to win, right? And so if you're watching this, you probably saw some of the examples I gave you. And so I want to just kind of deep dive on those examples, exactly how all that worked out, and then go through these presentations today. So if that sounds good, let me know. Let me see a 1 in the chat, and I'm excited to have you guys here. So I'll hop into this thing. I want to talk about the first two examples that I shared in the presentation. That was the Chevy dealership and then also the holiday lighting company. So the Chevy dealership, when I came in, they were spending about 15 grand a month on marketing and advertising. And so the challenge that they had was they had a really hard time matching back the people that were coming from the advertising to the advertising channels, right? They were using multiple vendors, they were using multiple people. And so the way that we implemented Alli in that business was we installed the pixel on the site, right? Because that's the first step. You get signed up. I think it's like step number 3 or step number 4. You'll have the pixel that goes to your website and you install it. And then once that's installed, the leads automatically start dropping onto your Google Sheet. The beauty of the Google Sheet is that it tracks the referring URL. And so you're getting to see exactly where this visitor is coming from. And so if they come from a Facebook ad, it's going to have a Facebook click ID. If it's coming from Google ad, it's going to have a Google click ID. And so what we were able to do is start matching back some of these customers from the marketing platforms. We found that one of their Google vendors, they were spending about $4,000 a month with them. They swore up and down that they were only running ads locally, but we were getting traffic from all over the US. Now, I want to be very clear on this is that the data sanitization that happens, there may be people that slip through the cracks, right? Maybe some people maybe have just moved to your area there. And so like when we match them back, our data maybe has their old address, right? But there was not a single person that Alli identified that came from the actual local area, right? And so they were able to cut that marketing vendor loose and save $4,000 a month of marketing spend, and they saw zero impact to their business, right? Like, because guess what? Surprise, surprise, no one's driving from Idaho to Kentucky to buy a pickup truck, right? And so that was like one of the coolest use cases where, like, if you're spending big money on advertising, Alli's a great way to audit that and keep your vendors honest, right? On the opposite side of it, we had the holiday lighting business who basically does power washing during the season. And so all season long, we're collecting names, phone numbers, email addresses, home addresses of people that are coming to their website for their summer services. And then once the holiday lighting season got here, they just took all of the emails and sent out some email blasts that said, hey, listen, we know you checked us out over the summer months for pressure washing. We have holiday lighting services. If you need that, give us a call. Here's where you can go fill out the form, et cetera, right? And so what happened was they actually closed 4 jobs from from those campaigns, from those emails, and it made an extra 10 grand. And so this is why we say Alli pays for herself fast if you have marketing and traffic and people that are already interested in your brand. If you're already driving and promoting your brand, your website, Alli pays for herself fast because you're already leaking these opportunities out, right? So it gives you a second swing at the bat. So those are a couple of little like use cases I wanted to share with you. Again, we'll make sure that we save time at the end where we can deep dive with questions that you guys may have. And I'm excited to get started. So let me see if I can't break something real quick. Try to hop in here. Hey, it worked. So we got an Alli and an Alli, an Alli, an Alli, and an Alli. So we're going to be talking about turning anonymous website traffic into revenue and how you can do that legally and effectively. And so something that I want to share with you guys is, kind of what we're going to cover today. So how Alli identifies the anonymous website visitors, right? I know there's a lot of questions about that. The 3 strategies that we like to turn visitors into revenue. And then also the legal and compliance side of this. And so again, what not to do is super important, right? There's a thing called a TCPA, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. And so just because we give you guys phone numbers, we would not recommend you just like start cold calling those people because they haven't opted in. And so while the technology is super cool and amazing and it feels like magic and it almost feels illegal, as Dan says, like you got to make sure that you're following proper procedures and policies so that you don't get yourself in trouble. Okay. All right. Sweet. It's kind of like a Jedi mind trick, right? We got to use it for good, not for evil. So here's what Alli does. She has a visitor identification system that gets you the name, the email, and the location based on the IP address, the mobile device ID, and cookie data. So this is the exact same technology that Meta, Google, Amazon, they all use, right? And so what we're able to do is map into those systems, map into our data providers, and give you guys this information from the people that are coming to your website, okay? Number 2, she gives you behavioral tracking, okay? And so if you see someone that's popping up on your sheet over and over and over and over again, then you need to understand that like that's that window shopper that keeps coming into your office. You need to make sure that you've got something in place that says, hey, I got to say hello to this person and ask them if they have any questions. Okay? That's the behavioral tracking. There's also intent signals. Intent signals are turned on that says if enabled, but the intent signals are the URLs. So the URLs will tell you what pages they're going to. Okay. So when Alli fires off, she fires off on the very first page load. So if they're coming to a coaching page or if they're coming to your services page, that is different than if they're going to like a checkout page or if they are going to the contact page, right? You want to follow up with these people in different manners because these are intent signals, right? So when we were tracking all this for Dan Martell's team for the last couple months, we were seeing that like they had a CEO challenge. It was a big Q4 initiative. Well, guess what? January rolls around. The team's like, all right, cool. Q4 initiative's over. Time to get in the Q4 or Q1 initiatives. There were a ton of people that were still going to that landing page. That was just like a wall, right? And so people were hitting that. The opt-in was very weak. And so like the rev team could say like, hey, let's follow up with these people. Let's get them some resources, send an email that says, hey, I saw you were checking out the AI challenge. Sorry you missed it, but here's a cool, blueprint that we also provide. Hopefully you find some value, right? Creating that value. Again, Alli is meant to be a customer service tool, not a sales tool. Like you don't want to like force yourself on these people. You don't want to get to the point where you're like really trying to attack them with the data. Okay. It's not going to go well. It's going to come off creepy if you're like saying, hey, saw you were looking at this page and I'm tracking you around. You want to buy my stuff, right? I always make the analogy. It's like the guy that's in the alleyway, right? It opens up his raincoats. Like you want to buy a watch, right? You don't want that. You just kind of want to be very, very casual in the follow-ups and say, hey, saw that you might be interested in our CEO challenge, our AI challenge, our coaching, our group coaching, the event we have, the service we provide. Wanted to see if you had any questions or needed any help, right? Very, very customer service focused. There is also CRM matching. This is why we provide the phone numbers, because if you can match back the phone number that we are able to identify to someone in your CRM, then you're able to now reach out via text message and call because you already have the relationship. They're already in your system, okay? So this isn't a violation of TCPA at this point. People have already opted in. You've already collected their information in some form or capacity. It's already in your system. Now, what I'll tell you is sometimes Alli you'll notice in here we identify based on IP address. If someone's on a desktop and they ping in, we might identify the wife if her name is on the Wi-Fi, right? The internet service provider. Or we might identify the husband and really like you've got somebody in your CRM that's cell phone number, right? So like, again, sometimes it's about matching back to your CRM to find these. But the key insights here is that you now know like who is interested before they convert, right? Imagine being able to get in front of your customers as they're shopping, as they're gathering quotes, as they're considering your product or your service. That's what Alli's here to do. So here is the three-tiered framework. Tier one, they're kind of like, these are like the 3 steps you can do. Tier one is retargeting, remarketing. This is probably the easiest way to use this data. It's taking people that have been to your coaching page and then you run Facebook and Instagram ads and you say, hey, we saw you were checking out our coaching services. We'd love to have a talk with you, schedule a call here, right? If you guys need help with that, my team can help you with the retargeting and the remarketing, okay? You can also send direct mail pieces. You say, hey, so you're checking this out. Or you can just say, like, hey, here's a special promotion, right? We're looking for 3 extra customers to do X. Here's a special promotion. Call us. So you can use this data to help you with your retargeting and your remarketing. Tier 2, one-to-one customer service outreach. That's what we talked about. Said, hey, saw you were checking out this page. Wanted to make sure you got all the information you were looking for. Do you have any additional questions for me? And then tier 3 is sales intelligence and prioritization. This is where Dan Martell's team was able to really go back in. And I have the data here. Let me pull this up because I don't think we shared this on the call. Perfect. So when we were getting prepped and everything was looking in, find the message from Coop. Perfect. There we go. So you guys, from the start of implementing this with Dan, we were able to identify 4,345 contacts. So in the past 2.5 months, we've identified 4,300 contacts, right? 200 of those had high intent behaviors, right? And so it had allowed them to follow up and message them, meaning that these people went to like a checkout page but didn't check out, right? They like went and watched a coaching testimonial, but they didn't sign up, right? They came from a YouTube video, but they didn't opt into whatever was on the page, right? And so this gave the Rev team the opportunity to be able to follow up with those people, and it gave them insights like they've never been able to have before. And then they were able to generate 23 qualified leads and matchbacks in their CRM. They're like, oh, shoot, that's Mike. Well, I just talked to Mike 3 months ago. He's back on the site looking again. Like, let me follow up with Mike, right? Because what I found is like businesses have 1 or 2 problems when it comes to leads. There's the constraint when it comes to leads. Either you have too many leads, meaning you've got like thousands of people and you're not really sure who you should follow up with. And so instead of everybody getting one-to-one follow-up, then you just are basically forced to revert to just like mass marketing to them, right? Just blasting emails, blasting text messages. Or you don't have enough leads, right? And so like we got to get more people identified from the site so that you can have more deal flow, okay? So let me know in the chat. I'm curious, like which one of those are you? Like, are you somebody that has like too many leads and like you're just blasting people and you can't follow up enough? Or are you somebody that, has not enough leads and like Alli's going to help you identify more of that website traffic, okay? And so those were the numbers that we got from them. And again, they're using this to look at testimonial pages, coaching pages, et cetera, right? So super powerful tool. And those are kind of like the 3 tiers that you guys can use to tackle the challenge of lead flow in your business. Again, I'll kind of deep dive here. Export Alli visitors into Meta or Google, right? Again, if you don't know how to do that, we can help you with that. Just ping us inside the app. My team would be more than happy to show you the options for that. And we're going to target ads based on the pages that they visit, right? And so this allows you to stay in front of warm traffic. Why it works, it's compliant, it's scalable, and it's automated. You set it up one time, you never have to mess with it again. Retargeting implementation. So identifying high intent pages, right? Like what are those pages? So these are kind of these are the steps, right? Export the list to the ad platforms, and you've got to create page relevant ads. Obviously, like if they're looking at coaching and you're like, hey, come to my event, maybe that doesn't work so well. And then you got to monitor and optimize. And so again, if you don't know how to do this, we can help you guys with this. So tier 2, one-to-one customer service outreach, personal outreach, like we talked about, customer service framing, not sales framing, email. I also have in here LinkedIn and Instagram. So, I obviously can't show you guys, and if you go watch the Martell training, I do a lot deeper dive, but I can't show you one of the biggest challenges. I can't show you screenshots and like, oh, look at this person, because like then I would be revealing personal data, and like that would get me in trouble. But I can tell you, one of the people that we found that was on Dan's site, I just took her name, first name, last name, and the email address that Alli identified. I went and Googled it, found her on LinkedIn, and she had like a real estate syndication. Well, why is this important? Well, it's important because Alli identified her as looking at the real estate testimonials for Dan's coaching page. Right. And so then what happened was when the person was there, when the lady was on the site looking at testimonials on the coaching page of people that were in real estate, and then I go back and I match her back. I'm like, yeah, that's her, because she literally runs a real estate syndication. So now this allows you guys to do hand-to-hand combat outreach on social. Now, I get the question a lot of like, well, can't Alli just go follow up with these people on social? No, that will get your accounts blocked, because if we started just messaging everybody through API calls on social platforms, it's a direct violation of the terms of service for those platforms. You're going to get blacklisted. You're probably going to get your account taken down. So again, I know, oh gosh, I got to do work, but welcome to business. And the good thing about it is if you show up with a smile on your face and you work really, really hard, you'll beat 90% of the people, because most people are lazy. Build relationships with these people. Follow up with them. Keep them in the loop and add value, right? Catch interest and throughout the time and keep building on that. I want to say one more thing on this, is that the ability to get in front of people at the right time, meaning like you were just on my site looking at this service last night, but you didn't opt in, you didn't request a quote, you didn't form fill. For me to be able to follow up, like that's crazy, right? Like that is the ability to be able to follow up with somebody the very next day. That's why we say like this gives you a superpower. This is crazy. Like you guys remember, like I talk about Kyle, right? Like giving it, if you're a marketing agency and you're using this, you're instantly going to generate more leads for your clients. I see in the comments here about 7,000 leads, but various lead sources, many are old. I'm unsure who to follow up with because it's disorganized. Yeah, right. So I'll give you a really cool play on this. I think that's Christine that's messaging. Christine, appreciate your comment. Check this out. So we're going to do one last like anonymous campaign, meaning like we're just going to blanket, right? We're going to send 7,000 leads in your system. We're going to send an email after we get Alli installed on the website. We're going to send an email, and then we're going to see who engages, right? See who Alli identifies and what pages they get identified on. Now you have like identities with intent that you can now follow up with, right? The other beauty about this is that oftentimes what we'll be able to identify is personal level information, and you may have like a work email if somebody opted in with a work email. And sometimes like spam folders or corporate spam filters will block you from being able to email those people, right? And so you're able to get that personal identifiable information, meaning that I've got their like Gmail account, right? So pretty wild. Cool, good question. Let's keep rolling here. Customer service email templates. Here's a quick template that I want to share with you guys. Again, like when we launched in Dan's Elite community, like there's only 5 minutes I had, and then I had to go get on stage. And so if you're watching this and you're watching the replay and maybe you came in, you missed the elite call. You're like, what the heck? We recently just launched with Dan Martell. He's a partner in the business and he's helping us promote this thing and develop it. And so, I wanted to make sure that we had this implementation workshop so I could give you everything that you need to win with Alli. Okay. So customer service email template. Check this one out. Subject line, quick question about, right? Put the page in there. What is the page what was the page they were looking at, right? Coaching, consulting, this, that, right? Renting an RV, renting an ATV, whatever it is that you sell, question about blank, right? What is it that they're trying to look at on that page? And it's like, hi, Mike, notice you were viewing our page about RV rentals. Did you find everything you needed? Happy to help. P.S. If you prefer not to hear from me, let me know. Okay. We'll get into Can Spam Act here in a little bit, and I'll tell you why you need to make sure you have that opt out email preference in the bottom. But I'll tell you guys right now, this is how we help the Chevy store sell an extra car a month, because this email went out as soon as someone landed on the page, and then we included whatever car they landed on, right? So if they landed on a Chevy 1500, we're like, quick question about the Chevy 1500. Hi, Mike. Notice you were looking at the 2025 Chevy 1500. Did you find everything you needed? Happy to help. Boom. Emails would come back in. Oh, actually, I was curious. Does that thing have airbags? I don't know what the response was. Obviously, every car has airbags, but the whole idea here is that we want to make sure this is customer service oriented. Okay. Here's the LinkedIn approach. Find their LinkedIn via reverse Google lookup. So again, just first name, last name, and their email address in Google, and you can go find their Instagram, their LinkedIn, and go one-to-one out. I know Dan teaches that, right? Go one-to-one outreach. Send connection, referencing the visit, right? Hey, saw you might be interested in X, wanted to offer some insights about it. What are you doing? How's that affecting your business right now, right? Try to start that conversation, but add value first, okay? I don't know about you guys, but my LinkedIn inbox is full of spam, okay? It's just nonstop spam. People just trying to message me, sell me something every time I open my inbox, and it's annoying. So don't do that. Don't be annoying. All right. Here's the CRM matchback. I call this the Holy Grail. This is when you have an existing relationship, okay? So they likely opted in. So Christine, you're on here. You got 7,000 leads, right? Somebody hits your website. You probably have their information. Cool, go check them out, right? So they probably likely already opted in. It's more confident outreach, and use the visit as a re-engagement reason. Hey, saw you might have been back on my website and checking this out, right? If you really want to be like Jedi mind trick with this stuff, you position it in a way that you don't let them know that you have Alli. Okay. And so if they landed on a blog post that talked about here, my 2 steps to 3 extra business in the next 6 weeks, right? If you really want to be Jedi mind trick with this and you see people that are landing on that, you take that resource and you email them and you say, hey, Mike, I was just thinking about you today. I recently published this blog post and I was curious if it brings you any value. Let me know. And they're going to be like, dude, I just looked at that page the other day. Yeah, man, thanks for sending that over. I actually really enjoyed your take on X, Y, and Z, right? And so that's the real Jedi mind trick behind this technology, is if you can basically use it without letting the customer know that you used it. Okay. That's why I call this the Holy Grail, especially if it's a CRM matchback. You already have more details and notes. It's insane. Volume and personalization balance. So the best thing that's going to work for you is one-to-one outreach, right? Most of the time, the biggest, I wouldn't call it a complaint, but the feedback that we get is oh man, can't I just throw all these people in my MailChimp? It's sure. Right. We don't say this on public because it's against the terms of service for MailChimp and Kit and all, what's the other one? Keep, I think, is another email platform. Most of these email platforms, you need express consent to put them in the list. Now, does every small business in the US get consent? No, absolutely not. Right. If you were at a trade show and you gave me your business card, I'm probably coming back and I'm adding you into my MailChimp so that you go on my newsletter. And if you don't want to be on my newsletter, then you can hit the unsubscribe button. However, I have to be careful where I say that at, right? And so this is kind of one of those gray areas where I say play at your own risk. But I had a mentor tell me a long time ago, he said, DJ, you have to follow the laws and break the rules if you want to win, right? follow the laws and break the rules if you want to win. And so again, totally up to you, your own preference. However, if I was you, like I would be trying to do one-to-one outreach with the people until you get to the point where it's like, I mean, for Dan, we've identified 4,300 contacts in 2 months. I still think he has the revenue team that's big enough, right? Multiple people, you could be divvying those things up and picking who you want to follow up with, because you don't have to follow up with all of them, right? Like somebody just went and read a blog post, like, okay, sure, you don't necessarily need to, right? That's why, there was 200 high intent behaviors that they found that they messaged, and 23 of those turned into qualified leads. That's a 10% conversion rate. You won't find anything else out there that has a 10% conversion rate on leads, right? It's insane. So truly one-to-one outreach, that's my recommendation. 20 to 50 day max. I really wouldn't follow up with these people past the 2-month mark unless they re-engage with your site. So if you see them back on the sheet, you get another notification. Like, okay, cool. We can re-identify those people. Reference specific behaviors, avoid bulk blast if you can, and then protect deliverability, right? We want to make sure that we're sending these out and we're protecting deliverability. Oftentimes we could find multiple email addresses for this person, right? And so they may have a Hotmail account they've had since high school, and like it was in our database, and so we were able to match that back. Just what I would say is this is why always look to your CRM first to see if Alli can identify that person inside of there, because that's going to give you the advantage. All right, tier 3, sales intelligence. So identify the hottest prospects, prioritize the leads, optimize the spend, build lookalikes, and then expand client relationship and engagement. I don't know why the text is funky like that, but we want to identify the hottest prospects. Again, what are your like highest intent pages on your website, right? And so this is going to be a little bit of homework for you. Like figure out what pages you think are the best. Like where is the highest intent? Where does that come from? And then we want to prioritize those leads, and then you want to optimize spend, meaning like if you're spending lots of money on paid ads, then you want to use Alli to help you audit that paid spend, especially if it's across multiple partners. Okay. And you can build lookalike audiences and expand client retention and engagement. Okay. Sales intel. This one is the sample. I can't share that one with you guys because I don't want to share any personal data. I did this in the Martell office, but we like blurred it out. So you go watch that training. We'll give that to you guys inside of the app. So be on the lookout for a message coming real soon, probably either today or tomorrow. We'll send out some of these bonuses. Okay. Marketing. So this is where it comes to how Alli can kind of blur the threshold between marketing and sales. So creating content that drives intent. If you make content on YouTube, on social media, and you have call to actions in there, you now have the ability to be able to track like which one of those are actually driving traffic, right? And like who is that person that's coming from that traffic? This was probably the coolest thing that we saw from the Martell data, was that we could see like which videos were driving people where, right? And so like for the ventures side of things, Coop obviously has some videos that are up there. Cooper runs the ventures piece, and like so the idea is like, hey, let's look and see like which one of these videos are actually slapping, and then let's make more of that content. And then let's make lookalikes from the converters, right? And so like if people are using certain pieces of content, again, if you're doing paid ads, like put tons of organic content out. When the organic content slaps, then we turn that into a paid ad. You also can help fix low converting pages, right? If Alli is seeing that, hey, there's a lot of people going to this page, but nobody's opting in, then we can help fix that conversion. And this allows us to test offers. All right, let's get into the really boring, fun stuff. So this is the legal and compliance frameworks. So this is the U.S. Can-Spam Act. This is why this is super important. It's legal to email without an opt-in, but you have to include an unsubscribe function, either meaning a link at the bottom that you click to unsubscribe, or like, hey, if you never want to hear from me again, just tell me and I won't email you. You have to include your address. You have to honor the removals, and you have to have trustful subject lines. Okay. So you can't email these people and have like misleading subject lines. Okay. So like if you're, for instance, if you are like, hey, open up for a 50% discount, and then once they open up, there's not a discount in there, then you could be in violation of the Can Spam Act. Okay. And so again, I don't want you guys to take this as like trying to make sure I word this right. I'm not trying to scare you. The idea is that we can target these people, we can optimize our pages, we can reach out, and we can do it ethically and legally. Okay. But we have to follow the rules. Okay. So this is why like other countries differ. So check your local laws and regulations. This is why, like we say, like we only identify US based people because that way we stay within US Can Spam. If I was identifying users in Europe, I'd have to be GDPR compliant. If I was identifying users in Canada, I'd have to be like compliant with all of their regulations. So like we only identify US based people so that you only have to worry about the Can Spam Act. Hopefully that's clear. Let me know if you guys have questions. Okay, what not to do. Don't blast via like MailChimp, HubSpot, like every single day and just spam the people. Okay. Don't call and text without consent over and over and over and over and over. Don't mass template emails. We're giving you person level identities with information that you can use to personalize the outreach. So use it. Okay. And then lastly, don't ignore the unsubscribes. So here's common questions that we get. Okay. These pop up and then I'll take a break here because I see a couple more questions that have come in. Is they say, hey, is AI automation involved in this? It's coming soon. We're working on it right now. This is part of being inventors. We're building fast. Probably within the next couple of months, we'll have the ability to utilize AI to go see the page the person came from and then generate you the email that you can then send out, right? And so this is the beauty of like agents, right? Like agentic AI that I know you've probably heard about. It's like the difference is like there's automation, there's generative AI, now there's agentic AI. Agentic AI means that it can now do things for you, right? So what we're working on is the ability to say like, hey, Sarah Sourdough had a visitor and they went to the like 10-pack page, but they didn't buy the 10-pack. So Alli can then go to that page, read everything that's on it and say, okay, now I have context. Let me write the email. Like, hey, Michelle, saw you were, if you were interested, we had a buy one, get one free on our 10 packs. Here's the link and here's the promo code, right? So that's how you can then use that. And again, we don't tell her that we saw it. She was on the 10-pack page. We just say, hey, here's a promo code. Here's a little discount, right? It's a win back. This is why I say it's the same technology Amazon uses. Because like if you go look at a red pair of shoes on Amazon and then you go to Meta and you didn't buy them, you might see a discount, right? It's like now 20% off, right? That's the power of using this type of technology. This is different how is this different from a cold list? It's different because they visited your site, okay? And again, these are suspects, not prospects. Dan's team likes to call them opportunities, not leads. They identify a lead once somebody has responded, okay? And I have in here that it's different, Canada, EU. We don't identify people over there, so we don't have to follow the rules. And so you should be okay with that. Right. So here's the bigger picture for Alli's roadmap. And by being a part of Alli, we have quarterly calls that we call our client advisory panel. This is where we want you to show up and give us your feedback, right? Like I lead these calls as the CEO. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from our clients. How's it working? What can we improve on? What can we make better? What are ideas that you have? You're like, hey, it'd be really cool if X, Y, and Z. Like, sweet. Like maybe we can put that on the roadmap and then we'll give you a shout out once it goes live, right? Right now, though, you have your visitor IDs. That is live. Behavioral tracking is live. AI assisted outreach is coming soon. And then an omni-channel orchestration is in the future, right? So like what we think would be really amazing is that Alli has a voice component to her. And so how awesome would it be is like if in real time, when someone lands on your website, Alli could then look at your CRM. And if they're in your CRM, she could trigger an AI outbound voice call, right? That's on the roadmap. That's what's coming in the future. We're super excited about it. We think having voice integrations, voice capabilities is super amazing. Okay. And so we're super pumped about that. We think that the future is voice for all applications. Like you're going to pick up this phone, you're just going to say something to either an AI agent or an app, and then it's going to go do stuff, right? I see that as the future. I also see that in the future, small businesses are going to have a couple of human team members and then you're going to have a couple of AI team members, right? These AI team members will have an email address, they'll have logins, they'll be able to go do things. Okay. This is why I'm so excited about AI and why I'm super bullish for small business owners, is because I've seen this happen already, right? We saw it happen with the internet where like information and knowledge got like like it got commoditized because there were no more gatekeepers. You could learn what you wanted to learn. I don't know was no longer like an okay excuse. And then we saw it again with social media. Right? I call this my access attention AI framework. Like access was the internet. It gave us access to information. AI is the last part of that, but in the middle we had attention, which is the social media piece, which allowed small business owners like you and I to speak directly to our customers. There were no more gatekeepers. We didn't have to pay radio, TV, billboards, print, right? We could just make content and be found. And now with AI, it's changing the game because we're going from automation to generative AI, right? That can make stuff, to now agentic AI that can do stuff. And so that's why I think we're right smack dab in the biggest transition that we've seen in a really long time. And like I would say that this is right next to the Industrial Revolution because we were able to create AI that can do the heavy lifting for people. Okay. And so like when it can do the task and think, right? I use that term loosely because it really just uses contextual clues to manipulate language. But when it can think on its own and do stuff on its own, man, hold on to your seatbelt because we're going to be down for a wild ride. And I used to think like, hey, that's going to be at the end of the decade, but probably not. We're probably close to like 12 to 24 months out from that. I just got off a call with Dan right before hopping on here, and he was saying that Manus is the first first company to go 0 to 100 million in revenue in 12 months, and it's because it's using agentic AI. It's powerful, powerful stuff. Let me take a quick break here. Got another question. Your system sends the data or has a dashboard to see where the traffic's coming from or what gets the most traffic? Yeah. So your spreadsheet that you'll get, and I think it's like step 4, step 5. I can't remember which steps are. But as you onboard, you'll be like, hey, you'll watch a little video, you'll acknowledge it, you'll set it up. It'll be like when you log into the Alli app, it'll say AI lead detection flow. It'll be under flows. You'll accept the first one, you watch the video, you'll acknowledge it, you'll sign off on the terms of service. But then you get your script and you go install that in the head of your website. The next step will have a link to your Google Sheet in it. And that Google Sheet is where all of the data populates in real time. This is what I didn't have enough time to express on the call, which is how awesome this is that it has the data on that sheet. From there, by the end of this call, I'll show you guys how to use the integrations. We have one-click integrations set up so that you can send that data from that Google Sheet to wherever you want it to, right? Either to Zapier, so you can do lots of cool stuff with it, or a webhook, or we actually even have some integrations into like HubSpot and Salesforce. Okay. So Christine, great question. Let's finish rolling through this boring legal stuff, right? So here's the key takeaways. Start with retargeting. One-to-one works when it's personal. CRM matches are the safest. Compliance matters. Always over index for deliverability. We want to make sure that you guys are following the legal roadmap. Okay. So good stuff. Hopefully you guys were able to take some of that away. Let me screen share next. This is going to be the wind with Alli. Let me pull this up. All right. Let me see. If you guys have any other questions, I'll take a quick break because I just realized I just rolled for 45 minutes on legal and compliance stuff. So let me know in the chat if you have any other questions. I'll take a quick second just to make sure that we're all caught up on any questions that you guys may have. Cool. I'll keep that moving. And then let me pull this one up. I think I can screen share this. Let's see. Cool. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me see. Yeah, that's like a your probably not going to see that because it's smaller. Try to take this full screen. There we go. I'll just come off screen for a second so we can walk through this. So this is going to be your win without the risk Alli guidebook. So a little bit more of the same of what we talked about. Again, you guys will get this in your Alli account as one of the bonuses. So it'll be coming to you. You'll get a message from Alli. And again, if you get stuck, you need help with anything, you can go inside of Alli and just at Alli and ask for help. If she can't help you, then she'll ping one of the humans and we'll come virtually running to help you out. So let me open this up. All right. So we'll talk about a little bit inside this document. Again, I'm not going to read this to you guys, but I'll give it to you so that you have this. Again, Alli is meant to surface insights, help you act intently, and then build trust with the people that you already have. These are suspects, not prospects. And so it's important to know the difference. There's golden rules in here. So in this guidebook, there's a little more stuff in here. Observe first, stay available, be helpful. It's all about making sure that you don't rush the press, right? Like we don't want to be pushy with these people. Again, I can't say this enough that on the customer service side, it's super important that you stay focused on that, right? Stay customer service focused. Roll through here. Here's some outreach, email outreach, green lights. So again, a little bit more of the same, what we already talked about. Here's what not to do, okay? You know, don't upload cold list into your opt-in tools. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Like you take the risk if you're willing to. Again, if you have massive amounts of unsubscribes, like that could be detrimental. Just again, trying to be fully transparent with you guys. That's why I like just one-to-one outreach. Again, it takes a little more time. It's not as optimized, but that's where you get that personalization until Alli gets to the point where she can look at that, draft it, put it in your inbox. Phone, text, and emails. So we talk about this. Email first, ask permission, green light. Again, if you have the ability to like schedule a call, like if you have a Calendly link or anything like that, you know, you can send those via email and say, hey, let's schedule a quick call so I can answer all your questions. That's a great way to book more calls. We talked a little bit about matchback, making sure that you're looking in your CRM to see what recent history you guys have and how you can put that into your action plan. And then we talk about outreach. So retargeting ads on Facebook and Instagram. I'll tell you, if you don't run any paid ads and you're watching this, I would highly, highly encourage you to at least get retargeting ads set back up. Get them set up so that you can actually get in front of the people that have interest, right? If they found you organically because you're not running paid ads, then spend a little bit of money. And it's not a ton, like, you know, $100 a month in media buy will do a lot for retargeting. Okay. Now, if you can afford more than that, then obviously you can spend it. You can stay in front of people more often. You can also stay in front of them for a longer sales cycle, right? So depending on what your business looks like, maybe you only want to have your retargeting ads run for 30 days, 60 days. You can go up to 365 days. So you can retarget people for an entire year if you have a longer sales cycle. But ideally, you know, you want to match that back to whatever your business sales cycle naturally is. Again, more what not to do's, right? These are important. And I think that, you know, if you use this tool like it was designed to be made, like it was designed to be used, you're not going to have any problems. So I don't want to scare you away or make you worry. But be helpful, be honest, and be consistent, right? Stay in front of people. So we'll give this handout to you so you guys have that guidebook. And you know, I want to make sure that we give you everything that you need to be successful. And I'll make sure that there's no questions. Let's take a quick sec here, catch up. That will come to you inside your Alli account. And then I'm just going to go ahead and get pulled up hirealli.com/support so I can run through the support portal. Perfect. Screen share. There we go. All right, perfect. So This is, I'm just going to go full screen. You guys have probably seen enough of me already. I'm going to pull this up. This is the hirealli.com/support. Okay. You can find it. It's up in here in the toolbar. And the beauty of this is most of the questions that you have will be answered inside of here. So we have a really quick getting started guide. It's a video walkthrough of the entire account, how everything is set up, how it operates, and how you can use it, and a full detail and breakdown here, right? So that you guys have answers to everything. Then we also have the script installation. So if you get stuck on it, again, if you have a website person, just send it to the website person and say, hey, I need this in the header of my website. If you manage your website, we give you a couple different instructions here, Shopify, Google Tag Manager, et cetera, how you can utilize this on your site, okay? So that's the script installation. We have an integrations tab as well. So once you're inside of the app, you will go to what's called quick links. And the quick links will be on the right-hand side. Actually, I can show you that from here. Over here on this right-hand side, and the team does a really good job of walking you through this. I think Reese made this video. He'll show you the quick links, and like you can click on this like see more, and it'll pull it up. One of them will be integrations. You tap on that, takes you to a screen. Bada bing, bada boom, one click setup. It's easy peasy, okay? So integrations are here, walks you through that, whatever you may need, HubSpot, CRM, Salesforce, Jobber, Zapier, which if you're using Zapier, however you want to say it, you can connect it to a ton of different Zaps. And then also you have the ability for a custom webhook. So that will be there. Then we've got the features. So we talk a little bit more about what we've already covered in today's training. There's some frequently asked questions and then best practices. So you can always find this by going to the support tab up here in the website. And again, if you ever need help, just reach out to us inside of your ongoing support. It's super easy. And I'm going to go ahead and play, for the sake of time, this quick little video so that you guys can see this.
All right, so once you got all signed up, you should be able to take your email address, and it should give you step-by-step instructions on how you can get onto the actual Alli app. Now, this Alli app is essentially your hub for everything Alli related. This is how you can contact the support, but also manage your overall Alli platform. So first, I want to break down how it actually works. So when you open the Alli app for the first time, you're going to see a few different options. You're going to see something called workspaces, flows, contacts on our account, quick links, and actually talk to Alli. We also have a meeting section here in case we schedule any meetings with you guys. So workspaces are chat rooms that we have to talk with everybody. So by default, we have one called ongoing support. In ongoing support, it is our team. So if you have any questions, concerns, or if anything isn't working, or if you get stuck, you can always let us know here and we can always get back to you. Flows are basically step-by-step instructions that we need you to complete. So by default, you're going to have 2 in here. Keep in mind, I have more because I have multiple accounts set up. So first, you're going to have the client intake form. This is basically a very simple form that you usually have to go through and fill out. It's very simple. Just do it when you get the chance. And then for the AI lead detection form, this is for actually setting up your AI lead detection to your website. Then we also have something called quick links. Quick links is basically a library of all different links that you're going to be using around the Alli app. So they're all here for ease of use. So what you're going to want to do is first head over into your flows, and we're going to be opening up the AI lead detection flow. Once you open this up, you should be able to press get started. Then what you're going to want to do first is you're going to see if you get stuck. This is basically another support chat. So if you ever get stuck, you have any questions, you can actually just type them right in here and our team can see this and we'll get to you as soon as we can. Once you understand that, you just hit review and press complete. Moving on, you're going to have this welcome to Alli. Basically, this is just an intro video explaining Alli and what it is.
Hi there, Alli here. And congratulations, you just unlocked a whole new level of visibility into your business.
So basically, once you watch this video, basically detailing more of what Alli is about, you can just press complete. Then from there, we have some terms and conditions that you will need to sign. It's very simple. Straight in the app, all you do is hit sign, press accept, read through these if you'd like, leave your signature, and then finish it up. From there, you're going to want to go to the 4th step, which is receiving your code. Now the code, this is how you actually link your website to our AI lead detection. Don't worry, it's very easy to set up. All you got to do is go to hirealli.com, head over here to support, scroll down to our different categories, and we're going to do script installation. From here, you're going to have step-by-step instructions on how you can actually install this pixel onto your website. We have different tutorials for general installation, Shopify, Google Tag Manager, and more. So to get there, you're just going to head over to the hirealli.com website, press support, and it's all here. Once you've installed this, what you're going to want to do is head over to your integration portal. So to get there, you're just going to hit back to dashboard to go over here to quick links, hit view all. From there, you're just going to want to hit this integrations. This will take you straight to our integrations hub right on the Hire Alli website. So on here, you're going to be able to see all your different integrations that you have built in for when new leads come in. By default, we have different CRM tools, Zapier, and custom webhooks. So if you want to be able to do more things when leads come in, you can enable Zapier. If you want to connect them straight to your CRM tool, so as soon as leads come in, they get straight added there, you can do that. And the Google Sheet is by default always active. But most importantly, once you install your Pixel, you're going to make sure you come up here and verify your domain, meaning that it's working properly and everything is set up. Once you're able to install the Pixel and this says script verified, all you're going to want to do is go back into your Alli app and head over to your AI lead detection flow again. Then from there, you're just going to hit review and you're going to press acknowledge. Then from there, you're going to have your tracking sheet. Now, your tracking sheet is basically your Google Doc of when any new leads come in, they automatically get added to this. Now, remember, this is active by default always, but if you want to be able to add integrations, so when a new lead comes in, you can connect it to other tools. You can do that straight to our integrations. It's very simple for a CRM tool. All you'll do is hit setup, log into your CRM tool account, and then it'll automatically connect and do everything for you. So as soon as new leads come in, it'll automatically get added to your CRM tool. Again, if you ever get stuck or you have any more questions, you can always go over to your ongoing support workspace. Let us know here, where our entire team is here to help you set up Alli and get it working for your business.
Right. Thank you, Reese, for that walkthrough. All right, guys. Let's hop over back into the chat, see if there's any additional questions. And I think we will about wrap this thing up. We went a little less than 90 minutes, but I think we were pretty efficient getting through that. So I'll take a quick second. Any questions in the chat, let us know. But other than that, I think we're good. That was a great walkthrough, great implementation workshop. I just want to speak a little bit as I wait for questions to come in here. I want to talk a little bit about the roadmap because this is something that's where I get excited because as the founder, as the builder, like for me, what this is going to be like, we have like what Alli does, right? Like, cool, it's magic already. But on the roadmap standpoint, what I'm really excited about is taking Alli to the next level. And so I wanted to kind of cast a vision of where we're going. And again, I invite you, keep an eye on your Alli account. We will send out the Zoom link to you guys for the client feedback, right? That client advisory call that I do once a quarter. Would love to have your feedback. Would love to have you on there. Love to hear how we could support you more and do a better job and make improvements. But I want to share with you what I'm really excited about. What I'm really excited about is how we continue to build on what we've already built, right? Alli to date has identified over 50,000 leads across multiple companies, okay? Multiple companies from, again, car dealerships being the biggest down this, like the mom and pop holiday lighting business. That's why I love that example because it's like everybody fits in between. What's coming with agentic AI is the ability to, again, like I talked about earlier, go to see what's on the pages that people are actually visiting and then structure the email in a way that it speaks directly to them. I envision this to a sense of like, if you're in Gmail or if you're in Outlook, there's a separate draft folder that Alli can say, these are Alli responses. She can then basically go write all these emails for you. You do a once over and then boom, you're sending them out, right? Still keeps that one-to-one feel, that one-to-one touch, but now you can do it at scale because Alli's doing the writing. Additionally, the voice component that I spoke about, I think we're going to be able to get within the next 12 months to a place where Alli can match back the people that she identifies to your CRM to confirm that we have the right phone number or the right contact information, and then outbound dial to them to try to book a call to try to close the deal, right? I think that will be massive because that's using AI to replace humans, which builds margin in small businesses. So those are like the two big things that are on the roadmap for us as we continue to build out the app. We continue to build out functions and features. Obviously, like the standard stuff you would expect from a technology company. We will build more native integrations. We'll build more connections to other applications. But for now, Zapier could probably do most of that. And so with that being said, I don't see any other questions in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Welcome to Alli. We're excited to help you in as many ways as possible. And as always, if you need more support, you need more help, feel free just to go into the app and ping Alli at Alli in your ongoing support, and she'll come to the rescue. If she can't help you, we'll get a human who can. Until next time, on behalf of myself and all of my team members, thank you so much for coming to the training. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.